This is the Audi e-tron Sportback, the newest addition to Audi's electric lineup, and yes, that does mean that it runs on electricity and electricity alone. It doesn't have an engine, it costs 457,000 dirhams in the UAE, and competition comes in the form of the Tesla Model Y and the Mercedes-Benz EQC. But I have a feeling that this is going to be a lot better. Let's jump in. Powering the e-tron Sportback is a 95 kilowatt battery that pushes 400 horsepower and 655 Newton meters of torque to two electric motors, one on each axle. Although the e-tron Sportback is not the fastest amongst its rivals, it still manages to go from 0 to 100 in 5.7 seconds, hit a top speed of 200 kilometers per hour, and enter corners at speeds that most SUVs wouldn't dare to. When cruising around town or driving down the highway, the e-tron Sportback is extremely quiet. And I know what you're thinking, aren't all electric cars quiet since they don't have an engine? Yes, they are. But this just feels refined. There's very little road noise that comes into the cabin, and wind noise is almost non-existent. Range, which tends to be a big concern for electric car drivers, stands at 375 kilometers on a single charge. While that number might be on the lower side compared to its rivals, the e-tron is fitted with regenerative braking, meaning that each time you lift your foot off the accelerator pedal or press the brake pedal, the kinetic energy that was being used to push the car forward is converted into electricity and saved in the battery for use later on. Think of it as charging while you drive. Speaking of braking, the e-tron is fitted with paddle shifters behind the steering wheel that can be used to slow the car down. Each tap increases the level of energy recuperation. Level 0, which is signified by a small marker in the instrument cluster, means the e-tron drives like a regular car. Level 1 increases the electric motor's deceleration for greater energy saving, and Level 2 lets you enjoy the true joys of one-pedal driving. Having driven the e-tron Sportback for the past couple of days, what I will say is that the e-tron has everything your traditional Audi has. From air suspension to multiple drive modes, it even has the same level of luxury and refinement. In fact, because it looks like a regular Audi and it drives like a regular Audi, many people who sit in it would not even know that it's electric. And that's a wonderful thing, because that is how easy Audi has made it for you to adopt the EV lifestyle. Inside, it's the same design and quality that you would expect to find in any modern Audi. Everything is exactly where you would expect it to be, and the cabin is molded around three large screens. There's the digital instrument cluster display that Audi calls the virtual cockpit. There's another screen to control things like the sat-nav and your mobile phone connectivity. And there's another screen below it that is used to manage the climate control system, the seat ventilation system, and also key-in destinations on the navigation system. Being a Sportback or an SUV coupe as other brands would call it, you would not expect much space in the back, but that's where it will surprise you. There's plenty of headroom and legroom, and to make the journey even more comfortable for those who are seated in the back, there's a 4-zone climate control system, sunshades and cup holders as well. Being an Audi, and a pretty high-tech one too, the e-tron comes with a long list of features. It's got everything from a panoramic roof to a wireless phone charger, 360-degree cameras to 3D parking, and even satellite navigation. But none of those are likely to blow you away. What will impress you are the virtual mirrors. Unlike a traditional Audi, the e-tron Sportback is fitted with cameras as opposed to mirrors that relay your rear view onto small screens inside the cabin. It's unlike anything else out there, and it's definitely one of the e-tron Sportback's standout features. Something else you can brag about is the fact that the e-tron understands natural language, and so you can pretty much have a conversation with it. If you say, "I'm feeling hot," it will drop the temperature of the AC system. If you say, "I'm hungry for Italian," it will pull up a list of Italian restaurants near you. If you say, "I want to go to the address hotel in downtown Dubai," it will start the navigation system for you. It's great. I'm feeling hot.
What temperature should I set for you?
23 degrees.
I'll increase the temperature to 23 degrees.
Sharing nearly the same length, width and height as the Audi Q8, there isn't much to differentiate the e-tron Sportback from its petrol-powered siblings, apart from the fact that it's missing tailpipes, a fuel tank cap and traditional side mirrors. Those of you who are familiar with Audi design will notice the single-frame grille that makes its way onto all other Audi models. Here on the e-tron Sportback, it has been closed off for better aerodynamic efficiency. But the 5 slats that have been left open in the middle are to help with battery cooling. Along the sides, you are likely to notice the 21-inch alloy wheels that hide orange brake calipers behind them, the Sportback or sloping roof design of the car, and the 2 charging outlets which are on either side of the car. Now, while some of you may think of it as having 2 petrol tank openings on your traditional car, this wasn't a mess up on the production line. The reason the e-tron Sportback comes with 2 charging outlets is so that whether you mount your home charging box on the left side or the right side of your garage wall, it's never an inconvenience. At the back, the e-tron Sportback looks absolutely stunning, and that's because of a lip spoiler that gets mounted onto the boot lid, a full-length LED light strip, and a broad stance that makes it look hunkered down and planted to the road. Boot space measures in at 615 litres, but fold the seats out of the way and there's a huge 1,655 litres of space. That's without counting the extra underfloor storage that it has to offer. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The Audi e-tron Sportback looks like a normal Audi, it feels like a normal Audi, and it drives like a normal Audi. And let me be clear, that's not a bad thing, because that's how easy Audi has made it for you to adopt the EV lifestyle. But the real question is that with an 8-year, 160,000 kilometer warranty on the battery and 440 chargers scattered around the UAE, the real question is, are you willing to purchase an electric vehicle? Let me know in the comments down below, and thanks for watching.